Hi, parents of a student in college algebra. So nice to meet you. I wish I could see you face to face, but thank you so much for viewing the video and the interest in your student's life is evident as I've gotten to meet them the past few weeks. Um, College Algebra, the book you'll see at home is called College Algebra. We meet in room M206, and my name's Miss Brent. As you know, your student is getting 3 college credits for being in this class, and therefore it's fast. It's a college class. I teach this same class for Harrisburg Area Community College. I'm an adjunct professor there, and we have to adhere to HACS guidelines in order for the students to get their full 3 credits. So I am sure they've already been complaining a little bit about the pace. I'm trying to do my best to make sure they understand things, but I can't really do anything about the pace. We're going to be done on December 12th. Okay, I have to follow HACS guidelines again. That's finals week is the 7th to the 12th. So we'll be having our final sometime during that week. We did not start, as you know, until after Labor Day. None of this is the fault of the kids, the fault of me, the fault of anything really, but it's the reality. These kids have taken on this challenge and I'm so proud of them. They're doing great so far. I told them that college algebra will probably need to be a priority, but to keep in their forefront the idea that December 12th, it's over. They'll have their 3 credits. They'll go into their winter break, and with no homework in college algebra, nothing, it will be over. If they choose to, then after we come back after the winter break, if they choose to go on to trigonometry, then that's another 3 credits that they could get. If they say, you know what, that was enough, then they're welcome to go, they'll go be placed into a study hall, but they will have their full, for as far as high school credits go, they'll have their full math credit. Okay, it's a college class, but it's a semester-based class. If that makes sense. I hope it does. If you have questions, let me know. I just wanted a question I get a lot from parents is what's the difference between Algebra 2 and college algebra? And basically, I have this up on the screen if you'd like to read it or pause me for a minute to read it. But what I notice in teaching Algebra 2 and college algebra for Harrisburg Area Community College is that we go, first of all, there are about 6 or 7 topics that are new to the students. And the problems that they may have, or the types of concepts that they may have been exposed to in Algebra 2, we delve deeper. We, in Algebra 2, they're just learning some of these concepts, so we make sure the answers turn out nicely. We mostly work with rational numbers, where in college algebra we'll work with irrational numbers. The applications also in college algebra are very adult. They're mature, real, rich problems. Also, college algebra, it basically encompasses they're trying to achieve 2 goals. One is college algebra is for some students the last math class that they need to take. Okay, it's the math requirement. Like if your child is majoring in literature, or like my child who majored in speech therapy, all she needed was college algebra. She's very jealous that now it's offered at Carlisle High School and it wasn't when she went there. But for a lot of kids, it's their last math class. Thus the rich word problems, the rich applications, the real life situations that they offer to help kids make connections to the real world and the math they're learning. The other thing that they're trying to accomplish is realizing that this also is a stepping stone to calculus. So we want to make sure that students have the skills necessary to be successful in calculus if they choose to go forward into calculus. So therefore, there are some things for the student that's not going on to calculus. There are some topics that are pretty deep that they're like, oh geez, this is my last class though, but again, it's twofold. So for example, this is our outline, okay, for Math 103. And these are some of the topics that I highlighted, some of the topics that are brand new to them. Okay, we're going to construct models to solve problems in this unit that we've never constructed models for before. We do linear and absolute value equations in Algebra 2, but we don't go into the inequalities. We don't construct functions with variation. This kind of got off here. We're going to go into the theory of equations, which we've never done before. We're going to do rational functions just like we have in the past, but we also go on to rational inequalities, just steps it up. We're going to do log functions and their applications, and we're also going to do matrices. So just for you to know, there's going to be new topics that they're going to be learning, but as you saw from the non-highlighted areas, the non-highlighted areas are things that they've been exposed to in Algebra 2. And like I said, the biggest difference then would be the word problems, such as this. To be able to afford the house of their dreams, Dave and Leslie must clear $128,000 from the sale of their first home. If they have to pay $780 in closing costs and 6% of the selling price for the sales commission, then what's the minimum selling price for which they'll get their $128,000? Okay, do you see what I mean about the kind of mature? They're made for college students. Your kids are taking a college class. Real situation that people are faced with, and there's a lot of good math right in there. It's a rich, thick word problem with multiple steps. Something like this. We've done area and perimeter problems, but in this case, Steve can afford to purchase 480 feet of fencing. In real life, a lot of times we know what we can afford, and then we have a task we have to do. He wants to fence off a square feet lot and then cross fence to divide the lot into smaller square feet lots. How much area will he need to fill with grass? Again, this is the depth of the word problems and the real life applications that we don't see in an Algebra 2 textbook for sure, but we see it in a college algebra textbook. In Algebra 2, we find the midpoint of line segments. Nice, neat points, right? We just got done doing the midpoint with these types of points. From -1, 1 to here's an irrational number. -1 plus 3 root 3, comma 4. Okay, we use irrational numbers in college algebra. The key to success in this course is doing their homework and checking their answers and asking questions. I'm a little bit nervous, to be quite honest, because in this online format where they're in school for 2 days and then at home for 3, I'm not seeing the depth of understanding to some points. They're doing all their work. They get credit for their work. But in the end, I need to know they understand everything. And so I'm wishing they would come a little more often to my office hours, which are, on the Wednesdays when we're all home. If they would just check in with me that day, if they can, that would be great. If they would come to me during Bison block, every 8th period, okay, which is the new Bison block, I am available. That's 70 minutes that I wish and I'm keeping it that way because of my college algebra kids. I'd like to see them when they're in school, face to face for an extra, they don't have to come the whole 70 minutes. I know I'm not their only course, but if they would come and check in for 10, 15 minutes on what they really don't, what they're finding they don't understand. I use the Remind app and Schoology to keep in touch with them and ask them. And this Remind app does just what it says. I like to remind them and say, hey, you haven't handed in such and such. Get it in. It's due by midnight. And I noticed the Remind app's nice because it's right connected to their phone, which you may have noticed they seem to enjoy their being connected to their phones. Okay, I've met your kids. And I'm blown away with their creativity. I gave them a little assignment because the first day of school, I was trying to get to know them. I can't see their beautiful smiles and faces, and I don't see them every day. So I asked them, if math were a food, what would it be and why? This is some of the creativity that your kids have given me. I had to make a slide of it because it's amazing. Some people said it's like a frozen pizza. Sometimes they come out easy and taste fine. Other times they're terrible. Pizza, it's fine at first, but if you have a lot of it, you don't want to touch it for a while. I mean, and that's how they feel about math. I got to know so much about how they feel about math. Math will be a caramel because while it's a nice snack, it can also be tough to get through. Math would be a Sour Patch Kid. It's sour, then sweet. I know you can't see the rest of this, but when first learning a concept in math, it can be a little challenging, which is sour. But once you get to know the concept, it's extremely easy, almost like a piece of cake, which is sweet. This one is a nice one too. Pistachios. It's easy to eat until you can't crack that one shell. So the student was saying, you can go along just fine, then you hit a problem and you're just stuck. I was just impressed and blown away. These are your kids. Tomatoes, because people either love or hate tomatoes, but still they seem to manage to be in literally everything you eat. You can't see that part. Literally everything you eat. Pomegranate. Lots of little seeds that make up the whole. Broccoli, you might not like it, but it's good for you. I like that one. Croissant, because it's hard to learn to master them, but the result is very satisfying. And this is one I keep using in class. Pasta. You can make it in multiple ways, like you can solve problems in multiple ways. So anyway, those are just a snippet, okay? I got a lot of these fantastic answers from your kids, which just amazed me. So thanks for joining in. I wish I'm getting gypped how to not seeing your kids every day. They've been really stepping up and doing the job. We're in this situation. I feel from my seniors, please have extra love and care I know most of your students are seniors. They, they're facing it like champs. They really are. They're coming in, they're doing the job. They're missing out on some of their senior year. I'm going to try to make this class as fun as I can for them and also get through it. And if they ever need anything, I think they know they can come see me and chat with me, even if they're just feeling down and they need to talk. But anyway, thanks for letting me share 70 minutes a week with your kids. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me anytime. BrentK@carlisleschools.org. Thanks so much. Have a great day.